Hey, BassGeek here, and everybody loves a Ned, but does your Ned got girth? Mine does. And there we go. There you go. That is a solid 3.5. Bass like thick, juicy baits. You know, just like a nice filet mignon. Just like we like it. It's why it's one of the best cuts of steak out there. We don't want a thin, juiceless, I mean, at least not me. I don't know. Some of you might like all of the life cooked out of it. But for the most part, we want a thick, juicy steak. And I think the bass react to that sort of thing a lot better than they do skinny little baits. My go-to Ned is the Nikko Super Ned. This thing has got some girth to it. Everybody knows, take a drink. This thing gets bites. It gets numbers of bites, but it's more than likely, and I feel like it gets more big bites than any other standard Ned on the market. And yeah, it does float. Let me show you. Hey, before we start talking about the Nikko Super Ned, I want to show you some things they sent me real quick. Man, I have got a plan for this little thing. This is called the Ikanego Minnow, and I cannot wait. I'm going to test it out this summer, but I cannot wait to show you guys. You can rig this up so many different ways, but I have got a killer idea for this that I cannot wait to show you. I've got a couple different colors in these. This is Aurora, and this is Glow White. They also make an incredible lifelike crawl. I've got several colors, but this is a new color that they just come out with. This is the Nikko crawl, and this is Blue Moon. By the way, if you don't like getting bit off, you ain't got to worry about these claws getting bit off, because Nikko, yes, it floats. It's extremely durable. It stretches. Now let's get to my favorite Ned. Like, this is just a straight Ned worm, and everybody makes a straight Ned, but this, it is a steak in the world of finger food. This is some of their common colors. This is just straight black. Again, you know, I said this in a video a while back that more companies should make straight black, not just black and blue. Straight black worms, straight black jigs. I don't know why they don't, but this is Obsidian. This is Eclipse. This one is called Lunar. This bad boy is Magma. And really, this is my go-to color. I have caught a ton of smallmouth off the bed with this. I've caught a ton of smallmouth with this, period. This is called Fusion. And I mean, you gotta have a green pumpkin. All right, geeks, before we go on, I want to talk to you about boat effects. Listen, you know I love their steps. I've got them both on my Triton and on my Camus. And yes, they make life easier, but they're also huge safety factors, especially the Boomer step. Listen, I love my steps, and they make it easy for me to get on this beautiful Camus boat. Say hi to Mike back here. But they're a safety factor. When you're loading and unloading in the wintertime, if you're one of those guys that's lucky enough to have soft water and you fish by yourself, which I fish by myself a lot, those steps are incredibly important. If you have graphs, this is what I love about Boat Effects. They've got graph locks, they've got graph mounts, they've got, I like to fish barefoot in the summer, so even the customization of the foam that they have keeps that foot pedal cool. They even have it, I've seen them doing this to some Camuses right there, customization. Maybe we do it to this one. Put a little green in the bottom of the boat, in the bottom of the green goblin. But I mean, man, they make so much stuff. Everything's made in the USA. There's a 5% discount code. Use it, save a little money, be safe out there on the water. I love you, geeks, and I don't want to see anything happening to you. All right, let's get back to this. Now, let's talk about some of their new colors. These new colors are great, and there's one in here especially that as we get into the spawning season of the smallmouth, I think is going to be fire. But we're going to save that for last. This color right here, I also think is going to be pretty dang good. This is a mix. It's almost like a green pumpkin red, but the tip of it, it's called Firebug. This is an incredible clear water color here. This is called Susky Gold. This little color right here, I almost don't want to show you, but it's so close to the smallmouth spawn, I don't think you'll get them in time. And this is Green Voltage. Now, let me show you how I rig this up and how I like to fish it when I'm fishing for those bedding smallmouth. So we're already tied on, again, a Pizzine or San Diego jam knot, whichever you prefer, whatever knot you prefer. This type of stretchy plastic can be a little tough. So what I want to do, as always, I kind of check where it's going to come out at, and that's going to come out roughly right before the egg sac. Slide it right through the middle. And this is the big thing about this, you've got to really keep this stuff kind of fat. Get it up there, keep it nice and straight. Pull it up there. And then what I do is I just grab it and wrap it around the head a couple times. Get it wrapped around there. There we go. Voila, you've got a nice straight Ned. Let me show you what I fish this on. So I am throwing this on a TFO Tactical Elite, which is now, I believe, the Taction rods. I'll put the link in the description to the updated rod series. This is 7.3 medium heavy because this is a 1/4 ounce head from Angler Tungsten. It is a fast, and of course I've got it on one of my favorite reels, which is the Custom Pro by Luz Speed Spin. I've got my K9. Now I'm going to use Pro 100, which is the 100% fluorocarbon by K9. And of course it's backed with their 20-pound braid, this in high vis yellow. I prefer the pink though, but when you put it on, you never have to take it off. Now, let me show you where and how I fish this thing. Now guys, I don't really have to show you a whole lot about how to fish a Ned. Now I am going to tell you, I do this very particularly, and I'm going to talk to you about the type of rock. And you'll see a little bit of it right over here. It's kind of that black shell, we call it shelf rock, and we want it running horizontal when we're looking for those spawning smallmouth, because they will spawn on that type of rock. So generally what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast that out. I'm going to cast it right up to the bank, and these bass can be spawning anywhere from literally 0 to 12 and 15 feet deep. And a lot of that will depend on how much the water has raised over time as to when they jumped on the bed. Smallmouth will spawn a little bit deeper than largemouth will. All that being said, fishing this, it is a drag, legitimately. You throw it up there, you move it a tiny little bit, and that's it. Because the bed can be, the sweet spot can be something that's maybe big as round as a Magic 8 ball for those of you that know what that is, or a soft ball. Once you know that you're in a place where these smallmouth are spawning, you're not going to want to move very far. You're going to want to move maybe just a few feet. Forward facing sonar does help. I ain't ready to tell you that yet. But anyway, when you set it, they're going to be super mad. These bass, these smallmouth, even the largemouth, they're going to jump. The smallmouth are going to jump 2-3 times 3 foot out of the water. You need to make sure that you're far enough away. I made a huge mistake by letting myself get in too close one year and lost a huge bag. It makes me want to cry to this day. But it's also going to be a straight up hook set. You're going to reel down and try and keep them from jumping. Keep that rod tip low, and you're just going to let them fight. Make sure your drag's set right. Let them wear themselves out, because they're going to be pissed. Landing the fish, it's a single hook. Most of the time, I'm not going to boat hop them because I'm using like 8-pound test, maybe 6-pound test. So I'm going to reach down, grab them with my thumb, get them in the boat. Depending on how big they are, if they're dink males, hop them on in. If you want to catch bigger bass on a Ned, go with a bigger bait. This is a Super Ned by Nikko, you geeks need to check it out. A lot of good colors, a lot of good stuff. Lasts forever. All right. Questions, comments in the comment section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. Love the 100% Watch Squad. You geeks are amazing. You're helping this channel grow to some incredible new heights. Thank you. I'm blessed to have you. And as always, each and every one of you geeks at home, you geeks rock.